Well, somebody asked me to explain how exactly we accidentally demoed our kitchen. I thought I would share the entire story with you guys. Honestly, I mean, it's really kind of funny. You just can't make this stuff up. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you how this goes. So when we bought the house, it had these white cabinets, uppers and lowers on this other wall. But these cabinet facings were very old, and I could tell that these doors had been added at some point, and they had like a veneer placed on all of these cabinet faces. And it was kind of dated. It was a little dingy, not terrible, but like I wanted to give it a little bit of a cleanup, a freshen up. I wanted it to look nice, but we just weren't looking to replace the entire kitchen right now. We wanted to maybe think about how we used the space before we decided to rebuild it. We've only been in this house for about 6 months. We bought the house at the end of June, and we just weren't ready for this scale of a project just yet. So we thought painting the cabinets would be a good place to start, just to give it a little bit of a freshen up. So we took down all of the doors, took all the hardware off of them. We repainted all of the trim on all of the cabinets, even the ones that are no longer here. We painted everything. I did a really good job, I think, painting the doors of the cabinets and the drawer faces, and they really did look good. And I knew that was going to work well for a while, until we decided what we wanted to do. And then there was a very shallow kitchen sink. Like, it was only 6 inches deep, which was really weird. It was really hard to wash dishes in it. It had a wide sink bowl, but it was an 80-20 split, and it was only 6 inches deep. And so I thought, as long as we are painting the cabinets, we might as well go ahead and put in a new sink, and that would really give it a nice, fresh, clean look for a little while until we decided what we really wanted to do with the kitchen. So we bought the sink that would fit in the hole that was already there, and before we put on the lower cabinet doors, we decided to go ahead and put in the kitchen sink. That way, we would have better access underneath the sink. So my husband took out the sink, and when he got it out, he says, "Wow, you're not going to believe this, but the countertop is rotted. Not only can we not put the new one in, but we can't put the old one back in either because the Formica disintegrated." So we said, all right, that's no big deal. Formica countertops are only a few $100s, very reasonably priced. We'll just go ahead and take out the Formica and order new countertops. So as he was trying to take out the countertops, he couldn't get it to break away from the wall, and we couldn't figure out why. So he crawls back into the sink face cabinet and then into another one, and he says, "You're not going to believe this, but the backsplash was built 2 layers deep on top of the countertop. So in order to get the countertop out, we had to knock out the tile backsplash. And it was 2 layers thick, almost like 1.25 inches full of, it might have even been like 1.5 inches of tile and backsplash and hardy board. So we had to take that out, or we couldn't even get the countertop out. So we went to town, knocking out that tile backsplash, and in the process of knocking out the tile backsplash, all of this ancient lath and plaster began to fall off of our walls. And once we had the tile backsplash out, we could see that all of the drywall, well, it wasn't drywall, all the lath and plaster behind the cabinets began disintegrating, falling apart. So then we said, well, we're just going to have to drop the cabinets and set them aside so that we can get to the wall to repair the damage to the lath and plaster. So we began taking apart the upper cabinets. And when we did, we realized that these are custom built cabinets that were built in place on these walls. And taking them apart to take them down literally destroyed them. There's no way for them to go back up. So now we have no sink, we have no cabinets, we have no countertop, we have nothing. And we had to take everything out completely and just start over from scratch in order to put our kitchen back together. So that is how we accidentally demoed our kitchen.